Hello, my name is Dr. Farzana Hafizullah, and welcome to In the Kitchen with Dr. H. Join me and my special guests as we make incredibly tasty dishes from across the Caribbean with a healthy twist. Well, hello everybody and welcome back. You're back in my kitchen. I'm Dr. H, Dr. Farzana Hafizullah. This is In the Kitchen with Dr. H, our Caribbean health cooking show. We're, of course, very grateful to our exclusive sponsor this season, Aetna. Aetna, thank you for celebrating and supporting Caribbean health. In this show, we not only feature our Caribbean dishes and celebrate our Caribbean culture, but we make some small changes to the way we eat some of those dishes to improve our health and wellness. We want to stave off diabetes, high blood pressure, stroke. We want everyone to be healthy. And this month is also Alzheimer's Awareness and Brain Health Month. So the dishes that we have today not only celebrate all of the Caribbean islands, but it is plant-based. And we are going to really highlight the health of some of these dishes and how we can add flavor without ever compromising on the health of our foods. And I'm wearing a little purple today in support of Alzheimer's Awareness. And throughout, I'll talk with our special guest today about ways that we can boost our own brain health. So what is on the menu today? Today, I'm excited to say that we are making our delicious, usually it's a Saturday when you're making your soup. It is a Caribbean pumpkin soup, all plant-based, and we are drinking a watermelon lemonade with a little bit of mint in there. So I know you're excited. You want to know who our special guest is, and I'm especially excited because today our guest is in the house with me, in my kitchen, not virtual, okay? Chef Irie, Chef Irie, come on in.
Yes. What's up?
And Trini in the house.
Yes, we're gonna cut up some stuff in the house here, gal. Look here. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me in your kitchen.
Listen, for Caribbean Heritage Month, of course.
Yes.
We wouldn't have anybody else but you, Chef Irie.
I'm blushing.
It's amazing when I make him blush. Look at that.
No, but this is amazing, to be able to do something, that's Caribbean.
Yes.
That's flavorful, and taking, all elements that we're used to.
Exactly.
And try to make them healthy. Because, we tend to, our people in the Caribbean have a tendency to overdo some things, but that's all right, but we like flavor though.
We love flavor.
Yes.
We love our spice. We love our flavor. But Chef, you're an author, right? Taste
Yes,
the
I'm an
highlights,
author.
right? And so all the recipes that you cooked on that show,
Yes.
we can get this,
You can get them in this book right here, all 2 seasons, when the show is on American Public Television, so you can get the book on Amazon. So it's myself and Chef Tia, who's a chef from Haiti. So all those recipes, there are some really nice, healthy recipes that are in here. Yes, there is.
We just celebrated Haitian Heritage Month last show.
Awesome.
So it was beautiful. We are really, the soup is across the board, all the islands are represented.
Of
right?
course,
That's
of
like
course.
comfort and love and family and a Saturday.
Yes, and it's
Right?
interesting that we're doing the soup that we're doing, because you did say you get pumpkin soup, right?
That's right, pumpkin soup. Yes.
So we are using, we have some pumpkin here, and this is the calabaza
That's right.
squash or calabaza pumpkin, or they call it Caribbean squash or Caribbean pumpkin, and that's what we have here. And so depending on where you're getting your pumpkin from, some will look like this, golden, and some will look green. So it doesn't matter. We're looking for this right here. This is what we want right here. Yes.
Right. That's the flavor.
Yes,
right?
all the flavor and all the health and nutrient qualities are in here.
And the seeds, you can save those seeds, right?
Yes, you can save the seeds, so you can once you wash them off, dry them off, and then you can put them on a sheet pan. A little olive oil, a little pepper, maybe some Mrs. Dash if you don't want to use so much salt. Just a little bit of salt, and then you can add some spices, mix it up, and put it in the oven. I'll say 300 for maybe about 20-30 minutes, and just toast those pumpkin seeds. So when you make a pumpkin soup, you can put them on top of your soup.
Nice.
Just as you said, great snack.
That's right, and that is great for brain health. Let me tell you, pumpkin seeds, just the pumpkin, the orange look,
yes,
all the antioxidants in there,
Yes, I like that. Yes.
What life was.
So you're going to be doing a drink?
Wait a minute. Wait.
Ooh,
salute,
salute.
I have to make sure we cheers to Chef Irie being in the kitchen. So we're going to make the drink first.
Okay.
Non-alcoholic drink. Of course, you know how we love our watermelon, right?
Of course.
So I took a nice fresh watermelon and pureed it.
Okay.
I'm going to just mix it up a little bit here. So we are not straining it. We're going to use all the
Everything.
fiber that's within
Okay.
it. And we're not adding any sweeteners. We don't need it because it's already nice and sweet. We're going to take some of this first, put it right in my little mixer. It's my little fancy mixer. I don't drink any alcohol, but hey, you know,
so what,
use it. None. You don't need it, man. I'm not treating. We have carnival on fire in our blood, man.
Boy, so you say you've had enough?
Born to fire, man. Born to fire.
It's never enough time.
Oh, okay. Words from Chef Irie.
Yes, very poor. So it's interesting that you're doing a watermelon lemonade. You know, just recently I did a dish with snapper and watermelon salsa.
Really?
Yes, you know, so everybody think, oh, fruit and protein, but it pairs well, especially with seafood. You know, so the watermelon, you got the lime, the lemon, the scotch bonnet, the cilantro, and everything. Boom. Yes, and the great thing about that, it's fresh. The salad is fresh. The fish, nice and, you know, whether it's fried or roasted, and you're eating both of them fresh at the same time.
Oh, that is the best. That sounds amazing.
So you're adding some more lemon, you have some mint.
Lemon juice, exactly. You like lemon, you like the nice.
I like all that citrus flavors, you know.
Course.
So one of the great things about citrus is that it adds a lot of flavor. It heightens, you know, it brings out the quality in certain dishes. So sometimes when you're cooking and you've added a lot of seasoning and stuff, and you're like, man, it's missing something. It's usually missing a little bit of citrus. So that could be lemon or lime, or you're using lemon here. So that's good.
Lemon. And you know what? We had some friends who were not feeling well recently.
Yeah.
And we made them a chicken soup, but we put cabbage in there and a few other things. At the end is when we added the lemon.
Okay.
Is that what you recommend as
yes,
well?
that's what I recommend as well, because it's a flavor brightener, if you would, or enhancer. It tends to just take it right over the top. You know, so you just like everything that you put in, whether it's a dish or this drink, it just takes it over the top, and you're like, wow, this is bright and refreshing. And we live here in South Florida, and so we're going into summer. You know, technically, because hurricane season and everything. So you know, it's great that we can be outdoors and have refreshing drinks like this.
Exactly.
You know? And of course,
and I put a little watermelon wedge on the top.
There you go. You're fancy self. All right, come on, girl.
You had a Jamaican coming in the house. I'm like, okay now. Let me just raise the game. So then I just pour it out. Now we put ice in our glasses. You can chill this puree, of course, and then it stays nice and ice cool and it doesn't get diluted. But there's watermelon is already sweet. You know,
that just comes out like. Oof.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Nice.
We're gonna add a little bit of mint to the top too. What do you think?
Okay. Yeah, just a little bit at the top.
Mint at the top. I use the little back of my wooden spoon to muddle it.
No wrong with that.
Bit,
just a little bit of garnish.
Exactly. Put a little bit of mint leaves right there on the top. Just a little bit.
There you go. Nice and refreshing.
And it's beautiful colors, right?
Yep.
Don't you love those colors? Now we're going to toast to Chef Irie, and then he's going to teach me how to make the beautiful pumpkin soup to you.
Salud.
Salud.
Yes, and for those of you who can't get some, this is where it's at.
For you. Yes.
This is nice and refreshing. So so you know what's really cool is that the watermelon had enough sugar. You didn't have to add no more sugar. Good choice of the watermelon, yeah.
To our brain health and to the brain health of everybody else out there.
Salud.
No added sugar. We want to keep heart disease down, diabetes under control, or even prevent it, of course.
Yes.
And that, adds to our longevity and quality of life.
You don't even need
nothing
the little extra. No,
right? See, I got chef approved on this. So there we go, guys. There we go. So now, Chef, you ready? You're going to teach me what I need to chop. You tell me. I'm just going to follow your direction.
All right. So, seeing as we're here cutting and stuff, so what I'm going to have you do is just give me some
julienne.
Dice.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll do it.
Probably like two sides of that, the green and two sides of the red.
Okay.
And over here, we're going to do the pumpkin. So we're not using a peeler for the pumpkin. We're just going to cut the skin off with a knife. So what I'm going to do is first we're going to take the inside of the pumpkin out, and we'll just use a spoon and scrape it out. And like you said earlier, you can keep the spoon, keep the insides of the pumpkin.
Perfect.
But keep the seeds. All right, good. So what I'm going to do is cut this up into smaller pieces. All right.
Love it. Nothing like the smell of fresh vegetables, huh?
Fresh vegetables. And what I'm trying to do is make this easier and manageable to cut the skin off. So what you want to do is make sure that you have a flat surface. And then I'm just going to use a knife and just go right down the side of the pumpkin. And we're going to do that for all the pieces that I have here. Right? So you want to make sure that your knife is nice and sharp. And the flat edges allow you, like I said, to keep the pumpkin from sliding out from underneath your fingers. So you don't want to cut the pumpkin on a rounded surface. Okay? Nice and easy.
To do that.
Yes.
Getting around fruits and vegetables.
You do the same thing as well. So we're just gonna make sure we get some of this out of the way. Pumpkin, good job on the dice. Because what's gonna happen is that it's all gonna get pureed later in
so
the
then
soup.
the size doesn't matter.
Size doesn't matter right now.
Okay.
So,
Okay, got it.
good.
All right, well, this is a technique that I think, I don't know if I learned from another chef, but it's just to cut the top and the bottom off and then just kind of go on the inside and take
Boom.
off the seeds.
And I'll show you another way
Oh,
to do
yes,
that. See
please.
that we have some red peppers.
Yes.
And good. So let's put this aside. So here's a red pepper. So yes, you still cut the top, bottom, and the top
Yes.
off.
Love it.
And then you turn the pepper on its side, make an incision like that,
Sound
and
like a
then-
good surgeon.
right? And then you just run the knife along the insides
Get the membrane out.
so it gets the membrane out in one fell swoop. Cut it in half, and then all you gotta do is just
Beautiful.
right. So,
Beautiful. I love that.
so if you want to learn how to cut like a chef now,
Absolutely.
so I'm gonna give you this to dice.
Yeah, sure. I would happy to dice that.
Good.
These in
And we can just put this stuff right here,
exactly.
and we just put that back over there.
Dish.
So real easy, as you're doing over there. Make sure your knuckles form a knuckle, and a knife,
This is good.
right? Exactly. And keep your fingers out of the way.
Absolutely.
You don't want to cut them off.
No, I need to keep those, man.
Yeah, keep your
My
fingers.
family needs me to keep my fingers.
All right,
If I
awesome.
make roti, I need these fingers.
Ooh,
Okay,
yes.
now we're speaking your language.
Yes, you're speaking my language.
You know what? I'm not the roti maker in my family, though.
Who
My
is?
second daughter, Nisa, she's the expert. My mother taught her.
Okay.
And she makes the roti in the house. So we wait till she comes back from college to make
So
roti.
so Doc, I went for invite when next time
Oh,
roti's
of
being
course.
made.
You know,
I'm
that's
just saying.
given.
I'm just saying.
Of course.
I'm just saying.
Of course. Listen, this is a beautiful part about brain health too, this camaraderie, socializing with these Caribbean people.
We love
company,
we love company.
right? And cooking in company, it boosts your health so many different ways. And then
Awesome.
the colors. Oh my God. So wait, Jamaica almost.
Yes.
Right? We need the yellow.
Yes, we need the yellow. So you can do a little yellow with the peppers
Yellow
over there.
pepper. Okay, perfect.
Here you go.
Gotcha. I'm going to follow what you just showed me.
Good, good.
Let me see if I can just take this out.
So we got
Peppers
the
in.
pumpkin,
Yeah.
we got peppers,
Mhm.
and right here in my hand, we've got chayote,
Ooh.
or chocho, as we call it in Jamaica.
And Christophine in Trinidad.
Christophine, yes.
Yeah.
And if you're down there in the French Caribbean, Merleton,
Mm.
yes. So if you're in New Orleans, it'll be called Merleton or Christophine. C'est le zé, les bons temps roulés, if you're there in New Orleans.
Yeah.
So basically what we're doing, we're just dicing up, our vegetables. So some will be pureed and some will not be pureed. Right? So we're just gonna make sure we get all of that in hand. And so I'm doing something that I typically don't tell people to do, but if you trust yourself, and you know why? Because this is how we cut when we were growing up, you know, using a knife just the way I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
As opposed to the nice and safe way. So we're just gonna dice the chocho up. And so this soup is going to be chock full of flavor.
Delicious.
And so you got some peppers gone. I got some chocho down. So what I'm gonna do next is add a little bit more flavor. I'm gonna add these peppers to your bowl here.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Nice. Oh, good. So you're using up the ends and everything else, basically.
Pretty much. So next we have some spice mix. So in here, I already have some coriander seed and black pepper seed. And what I'm going to do is add a little bit of Mrs. Dash, a little bit of onion powder, and I'm going to start to grind this. But I need a little oil.
Sure.
Little oil.
That goes a long way, and it smells amazing. You know,
Good.
everybody should have a nice.
And we're going to add some garlic.
Yeah.
So we're going to smash that.
Delicious. I mean, listen, that's like the trinity.
Right.
Have garlic and have your scotch bonnet.
Right.
And then
Rough chop in here. And at the same time we're doing this, because, you know, we're going to be multitasking. All right, let's do that.
Okay.
We're going to add some oil to our pan that's been sitting here heating. So we got a little bit of olive oil. You can use vegetable oil if you need to. And I know it's been sitting there, so what we're going to do is add the pumpkin to it.
Pumpkin first. Is it caramelized a little bit? Oh.
See, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we want that to caramelize a little bit, deep flavor. And what's that's going to do, hear the sizzle, right? So you want to make sure that you hear the sizzle.
Yeah.
And we just let that go. I'll turn it up just
Oh my God, I love that sound. That to me is.
Okay, that's good. All right, so we got our garlic. We got a little more oil.
Yeah. Do you want it to be a paste?
A little bit.
A little bit of a paste.
A little bit of a paste. So it's almost, what I'm going to do is we're going to add some greens to this. Okay.
Greens like the herbs you're talking about?
How you mean?
I
There you
love
go.
it.
All right. So what you want to do is just pick me off some of this, and we're going to use a little bit of.
Is the stem and all?
Yes. Just leaves. Just leaves. All right. Good.
Now there was a little trick that you would use with a grater, right? I haven't used that trick. Let me see.
You gonna do it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work. Probably not. No, I think this is a tough one. Come on, you're gonna go against the grain of.
Yes, that's against the grain. Even if you have a little bit of the time spring in it won't matter, because guess what? We're gonna puree it, and it's gonna be good.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You put thyme in almost everything. Even olive oil. Do you put it in olive oil?
Yes, in olive oil.
First, yeah.
Right.
Oh my
Good.
gosh. That
So
sounds
we'll
so good.
thyme. We also got a little bit of
Yeah.
rosemary that we can add to that. So as soon as you pick off the thyme, just drop it in here.
Okay.
And we're gonna stir this up.
Oh, I love the smell of thyme. My gosh.
So seeing as we're going for extra flavor.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yeah, there you go.
Can't get enough time. Don't have enough time to get to
Well, a little bit of extra. Yeah, and you can. I'm gonna add a little bit of the parsley here, and we want to save this. We're gonna save this for a second. The parsley stem. All right.
Just the leaves off the rosemary.
Just the leaves off the rosemary. There you go. There you go. Smell that rosemary?
Smells amazing. Oh my
Right,
goodness,
good.
rosemary. When you coming into my house, you notice we have 4 big pots of rosemary.
I'm taking one of the pots. When I leave.
Good luck.
Oh.
Like 100,000 each.
All right, cool. So while this is on, we're going to add a little bit of turmeric in the pot.
Oh, that smells amazing.
So about half a teaspoon.
Good anti-inflammatory right there.
There you go.
Good for your
We're also going to add a little bit of ground cumin. That's about a teaspoon. Yeah, go ahead. We're going to add a little more of this onion powder.
So not fresh onion, but onion powder. What is
We're gonna
the
add some
onion
fresh.
flavor?
I just want. So I don't want the onion, and stuff to burn. If you notice, I haven't added any garlic or onion to it.
Right.
So I just want it to just extracting flavor to the pumpkin. So what I want you to do now is just grab me the stem, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of the rosemary and bay leaf.
Okay.
And 1 scallion. And then what we're gonna do?
A bouquet, huh?
Yes, exactly.
I love it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we're gonna go
You want
ahead.
the root on the scallion or no?
Yeah, you're gonna take that off. Take that off. All right. We're gonna add a little more oil so we can get this piece going.
Parsley not prepared, no?
Parsley, just a stem.
Just a stem, right?
Just a stem.
Got it. Oh my goodness.
So one of the things that I've started doing myself, which is it's great that I'm here.
Yeah.
For myself personally, I have been trying to reduce the amount of sodium that I actually use for myself.
That's amazing.
But I find that also it is now being transferred to, when I'm doing catering and stuff like that. So I'm always having, because when you cook for other people, you gotta make sure that you're maximizing flavor. So I'm always asking someone.
How can we
Yeah, exactly. So that's just, just the adjustment. When I'm eating, how much sodium I'm actually, putting in. So yes. So bouquet garni, and I'm sure you people know about this.
Yes,
bouquet
of
garni.
course, of course.
So we're going to add this to the pot with the pumpkin. Good.
Okay.
And what we're going to do now, actually.
This kitchen smells amazing, everybody. And I love that you talked about salt.
Mhm.
Salt causes so many issues, not only with blood pressure.
Exactly.
It messes the inside of the arteries.
So we're going to do some onion.
Onion, okay.
All right, good. So.
Tail first, right?
Yes. There you go. You know what you're talking about.
You know what? My mother, she would be mad with me if I didn't know it the right way. And then I cut through this part to keep the onion together.
Okay, good.
Alright. Oh, this kitchen already smelling amazing. Let me tell you.
So what I'm going to do now is add. So we're going to add some water.
Okay.
And because of the amount of pumpkin, we don't need a lot of water because we want to when we puree it, we want this to have some nice silky texture to it.
I love that.
And so typically and traditionally, everything would be in the pot. Most Caribbean soups, they're not pureed.
Right.
So and they're very hearty with the vegetables that they put in. And a lot of starch because they use a lot of yams.
Yes.
Sweet potato, yellow yam, white yam, potatoes, of course carrots, which we have here.
We do.
Right? And we're going to add the carrots in. We're just going to rough chop the carrots. Put this aside. Boom, 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 boom.
And now this is all puree, so again, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter the size.
Okay, good. So that's nice.
Right.
You see, it's a stress-free soup.
Stress-free soup.
Don't have to worry.
Right.
And no meat involved. You won't miss the meat.
No, you won't.
Oh.
You're doing good. I'm not chopping. Yeah, I like that. I'm gonna steal some of that onions from you.
Go ahead, and I'm gonna
Right.
get one
I'll
right
take
here.
exactly what you have right here.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Yeah, pop it in there.
Right over here. Good. Awesome.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna a little more water, and then we're gonna try to bring this up to. We're gonna have a nice color,
Ooh, nice.
and so we're gonna cover this. All right, and then we're just gonna make sure that we have
Oh, beautiful our peppers. came out.
peppers.
See?
Good.
Jamaican colors. Actually, all the Caribbean colors are somewhere represented.
Exactly. Ice green and blue.
Right. Exactly.
So as soon as that comes up to temp, we're gonna add some more flavor, and just because I know we're gonna add a little black pepper.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
About half a teaspoon.
Okay.
And I got this much salt.
So that.
About half a teaspoon of salt.
Half a teaspoon.
See? Can you see? Yeah? Look at that. All right. For right now.
That's it.
That's it.
Right.
And so what I'm counting on is the flavor of the spices.
That's right.
The onion, the Mrs. Dash, the turmeric, right? The cumin, and here from the coriander seed, the black pepper, and the herbs, the fresh herbs.
Absolutely.
The parsley, the thyme, the rosemary, and we also have the bouquet garni inside. So that is going to
So in this dish, you don't chop up scallions separately, then, or could you do that at the end?
You could at the end as a right on the top. So basically, we're just letting this come to a boil and to let the pumpkin cook, and then as soon as it cooks, gets nice and soft, we're just gonna puree it.
Oh, I love it. Oh,
right.
So everything melts together nicely, right?
Right. And
I love that you talked about salt. Like the daily recommended amount of salt is what? 2,300 milligrams. A whole teaspoon is 6 grams of salt. Imagine.
Wow, that's awesome.
So it's a sliver of that teaspoon that you really need to have. But,
Okay.
And then there's hidden salt in all these other places, and it adds up on you, causes your blood pressure to go up.
So one of the things that when I do cooking demos,
Yeah.
especially if I'm speaking to Caribbean people,
Yeah.
is to understand how you compound things. So one of the things that we do as Caribbean when we go to the store and we're buying spices, we're buying 6, 7, 8, 9, everything. So in order to season the dish, let's take oxtail. We have oxtail seasoning. We got complete seasoning. We got thing seasoning. We got boom, 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 boom. So when you read seasonings, what's one of the main? Salt is usually the first thing, right? So you got oxtail seasoning, boom, boom. So every time that you add all those flavors, you're compounding the amount of sodium that you add into the dish. So what I try to get people to get to understand is, to read these labels for sure, but to minimize, compounding the different seasons. So here's one the tip, when you're seasoning, buy all your spices separately, if you can, fresh. Get yourself a small grinder and make your own compound spices.
That's the smartest
right?
advice.
Without salt.
Love it.
Right? Keep it, so you're making the spice as you need it.
Exactly.
And you're keeping your salt separate. And I advise you to use kosher salt. So when you are seasoning and you take out, you can feel and see the amount of salt that's going in. So and you control how much salt that you put into your dish.
That's
right?
Brilliant advice, everybody. It's keeping our brains and our bodies healthy. That's what we want.
That's why we're here.
But listen, we gotta enjoy this life. Talking about carnival and all the things we celebrate. You want to be able to move, you want to be able to dance, you want to enjoy your family. So
Yes.
This is about you and giving love to yourself, your body.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yes, I love it.
Oh, wait a minute. And I see a nutmeg over there. You gotta tell me about that one.
Yeah, so this is going to go towards the end. So typically when I would make soup, something like this, especially with that has no meat in it, I'm going for full on maximum flavor. So cinnamon and nutmeg are probably one of the 2 other spices that I would add. So this either goes at the beginning of it when I'm making the soup.
Yeah.
So when you're sauteing everything, and sometimes add a little brown sugar.
Oh, coconut sugar maybe. Next time.
That's good. A little coconut sugar. Yes, I didn't say brown sugar. A little coconut sugar, and just to add a little diversity or
Je ne sais quoi.
yes, a little balance to the dish.
Right.
But then you add a little cinnamon, whether it's fresh cinnamon or the cinnamon sticks, and then
yes.
grated nutmeg. We're from the Caribbean, so we know all our spices. And then when the soup is done, then you add right over the top. And typically some of the soups may have coconut milk or something like that in it, but you don't need it. Today you don't.
That's how you do it.
Right. But just that flavor, like you said, a little extra something. The nutmeg will add a little extra something. And I recommend that you use them fresh, right? Make sure you have one of this. It's a rasp or a little grater, and you grate it fresh. You put your nutmeg back in the bottle. Boom.
That's it.
All right.
I know we hang on to our nutmegs for a while. We buy them and we use them.
So what I'm going to do here is just add some peppers to this.
Oh my gosh. We need it on the other side. I can turn it up for you.
Yep. Okay. So,
Little.
maximum heat.
Maximum heat.
All right, so we got some
Into
red,
island style.
we got some green, and we got some yellow.
Oh, beautiful. Look at the colors in there.
So,
When you eat your colors, right?
and then we're going to save that.
Save that, okay.
And we're going to also add, let me just get this off the board. We're going to add the chayote.
You want me to cut up the rest of this onion or leave it?
You can cut up just a little bit of it.
Okay, gotcha.
So now we have all our vegetables cut, and we're going to add, for flavor purposes for right now, we could do one of two things.
Uh-huh.
So we can put a slit in a whole Scotch bonnet, and which we just did.
If you're spicy.
Right? If you're spicy.
Which we are right
And-
now, yes.
Take a smell.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, my mother makes her own hot sauce. She used to make Scotch bonnet hot sauce for us.
Yeah?
I still have that in the fridge. She's passed away now, and
Okay.
imagine that hot sauce is still around.
All right, good. So we'll add that to the pot. That's one way. And if you are not wanting to do that and you're not sure
Yeah.
of how much spiciness you will add to the soup, then you can just, cut off, just as much as you think you need, and just julienne or dice that and just add it to the pot, especially when we're about to puree the soup. And I see you have some lemon over there.
Of course I do.
Yeah.
No?
So we're gonna add what we're gonna do
Mhm.
is not add the lemon juice, but we're gonna add the lemon rind.
Oh,
right?
nice.
So that will give you some extra flavor, and it also allows us to get the oils off the rind, right?
Oh, talk about building complex flavors and enjoying every bit of the plants that we're using
Right.
today, right?
So it's awesome that soups, so soups, for the Caribbean are amazing thing, right? It's the best part about soups is one pot.
One pot.
One pot, right?
Let's stop the wash.
Yes. So, but all through the Caribbean, soups are a huge thing. Whether it's a pureed soup like this, or it's a soup, from Haiti, soup jumeau, where it's beef. There is all kind of lovely goodness in the soup. The ancestors speak to you.
That's
Is
right.
it soup on a Saturday?
Oh.
Beef soup on a Saturday? Fish soup?
Oh, gosh,
goat
that's
head
right.
soup?
Yeah.
But soup is just a huge part of our culture. And some people think, okay, when you go to dinner, soup is like, soup is an entree for us, okay?
It is. It is a meal.
Yeah.
We keep that, and it gets better after.
Exactly.
That is
Exactly.
right?
Yes. So when people say, "Are you eating your soup? Or you drinking your soup?"
Come on.
We don't really care. We don't really
Just
care.
drink it.
Yeah. So just don't give this.
No.
This is not soup quality.
But
Yes.
you bring up a good point about portion control, though. I mean, I know we enjoy our basin,
Mhm.
but maybe cut back on the basin. And you gotta really look at what is considered one person's portion, right?
Okay.
And I love that you're not doing dumplings today. I know we're going to get a little heat from that, but
Boy, I
don't
tell
listen
you.
to
I
us.
thought about it, but hey, we're gonna have some vegetables, and yes,
Texture is
yes.
in there.
But the thing about what we're doing today
Yeah.
is that it opens us to change,
Yes.
right? And I think for most of us, especially in the Caribbean community, we are oftentimes resistant and hesitant for change. We like the things the way we like the things.
Right.
And so when it comes for professionals, doctor, myself here, chef, and we will make suggestions, sometimes it's hard for people to make the transition right away. But the more you talk about it, and especially in our communities, where we can see what's happening to people in our communities. People are getting sicker
Very sick.
in terms of the thing. And I'm quite convinced, yes, I'm very convinced now,
Yeah.
that it's not just, physical. There's something about the foods that we're eating.
100%.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, something about the foods that we're eating.
Oh, yes.
Because we weren't having this problem, 20, 30, 40 years ago.
That's right.
But I think, how we source our foods, trusted sources, reliable sources, so that we can know where they're bringing foods come to feed us.
Exactly.
Because most of us don't have the ability to raise a farm, to till a farm.
Exactly.
So we got to go someplace where.
Yes.
Right.
Growing up in the islands, though, if I needed seafood, I went to the wharf and we got it from the fisherman's street there.
Mhm.
In our yard, like you said, every fruit and vegetable was already grown and the herbs and seasonings were right there.
Right,
But
right.
here you're right. We
Yeah.
don't want processed, we don't want chemicals, we want to...
All of that good stuff. And good source of some of the freshness, farmer's market.
Here you go.
The farmer's market, or if you have access to an actual farm, you can go and get fresh quality ingredients from the farm. So basically, from farm to table.
Farm to table.
Farm to table.
Or garden to table.
Or garden to
Because
table.
I have to go in my yard.
Right. So one of the
And
things,
get some of the stuff.
but one of the things a lot of people have been doing lately
Yeah,
is really trying to grow, even if it's
That's
small
right.
quantities.
that's right.
So I live in a condo, it wasn't much,
Yeah, of
but I
course.
grew some tomatoes,
Oh, look at that.
you know,
That's
and,
Dr.
yes,
Frog
and
impressed.
they came. So I'm gonna do it again, but I'm gonna do it right the next time.
Nice,
But
nice.
people are finding that it only takes a small, to grow something.
That's
You don't
it.
have to grow everything, but what it does, it gives you a sense of pride to know that you are producing your own stuff and you're contributing to your own health.
And that also contributes to your own positive mental health. You know what I mean? Just a part of
And
your
you-
own wellness.
And so last month, May was mental awareness month.
Yes.
Yes,
it
so-
was.
And I think every month needs to be mental
Every
awareness
day,
month.
every day is a mental health
Every
day
day.
for us to
Every
think
month.
about pressing our reset button and enjoying what we're doing and making sure we relieve stress.
Yes,
all the
yes,
time.
indeed. Let's see how, hopefully,
Well, I take a sip of my watermelon. Let me do that.
sip of the watermelon.
Mm.
Okay, can you smell what's
Oh,
going
it
on?
smells amazing. Oh my God. Look at that. I hope everybody can see on camera. Look at those colors. Look, I wish you can have smell-o-vision here
Right.
so you can smell. And then talk about Taste the Islands a minute there. Let's talk about some of these recipes in here. Anything you want to highlight?
Well, so one of the things that we did when we were doing the book is to really sort of focus on culture.
Yeah.
And so food. Yeah, I'm Jamaican.
Yeah.
Chef Tia is Asian. Yes, Chef Tia. We focus on. She focused on mostly Haitian cuisine, and I tried to do sort of like a across the board. So there's some things that are represented in Trinidad.
Oh, nice. Let me see.
I'm trying to see where. What
I'll
did
see,
I do?
see one.
Corn soup.
All right. Yes.
Version of corn
yes,
soup.
Yes.
Some
chickpeas in there. Oh, some ketchup.
mango ketchup. We got black bean soup. This is from Haiti.
Yes.
Sauce pois. I think it's core.
Mm.
Yes. You have that with some rice.
Yes, of course. You
Yes.
need black beans and rice
Yes.
in any form.
We got, and here is cream of pumpkin soup.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
we eliminated the
Right.
cream, right? We don't need it.
Awesome. So, but one of the things that I tried, put like this soup,
Yes.
if what you can do with all of this lovely goodness here
Yeah, absolutely.
is for your own pantries and refrigerator, you have herbs,
Yes.
you have some vegetables,
Bring it forward for everybody. Let's
right?
see. Show it right here.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, right.
We got carrots, we got green onions, we got parsley, we got thyme, we got rosemary, we got peppers, bay leaf, perfect for the formation of a stock.
Yep.
All right, and stocks are your sort of your foundation for flavors. All right, and all of this stuff can go in the pot. You want to start off, mix your nice washed vegetables, chopped up, whatever it is, cold water, and bring it all up to temp. Now, vegetable stocks don't need to be cooked for a very long time. I'd say about 30 to 40 minutes
Wonderful.
for the most.
Yeah.
And then you're just gonna strain it off,
Mhm.
let it cool, put them in containers. You can either put them in containers like this, plastic sleeves, let it cool, and then you can freeze it.
Oh,
Or
yes.
you can put them in ice cube
Yeah,
trays.
I love that.
Ice cube trays form, put ice cubes in Ziploc bags, you're good to go,
That's
right?
amazing.
So all you're doing, right, basically, is starting, especially when you're making soups or stews, you're starting from a foundation of power.
Yeah. Oh,
Right?
I love that. Foundation of power.
Foundation
From
of
the
power,
ground.
all right, from the ground. You got a flavored stock, so this could be a vegetarian stock.
Yes.
It could be
Love
with
it.
all of this plus the protein now.
Mhm.
So chicken, beef, whatever protein it is, fish, the bones. So if you go to a fish market and you buy
Yeah.
fish,
Oh, yeah.
buy them whole
Oh, that's delicious.
and have them fillet.
Right?
You take the fillet, Well, you take both.
Yes.
You come home.
Shells.
Wash the fish bones off, and you make a nice fish stock.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
Right?
Oh.
And then from the fish stock, you can make your fish soup, your fish tea, which is Jamaican. That's what we call it. Fish tea.
Right? But you know, I love that you talk about the ice cubes and putting it in there. So we don't need those flavoring cubes that are packed with salt, right?
Oh, yeah. We know all of those. Yes, because you know, and it's prevalent in the Caribbean.
It is.
You know, everybody's always
soup
looking
flavoring,
for soup flavoring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Things, you know?
right.
Filled with salt.
So when you start with this,
Yes.
it's just a flavor enhancer.
Exactly.
It's not to kill
No.
the food, you know, with sodium. You just
That's
want to enhance the flavor.
That's
all right?
it.
Good.
Well,
So
all
what
right.
I'm going to do now is hopefully there.
Oh,
yeah.
delicious. Oh, the smell in this kitchen, everybody. If you can only smell this flavor of this delicious
So we want him out.
Scotch bonnet. All right. Good.
And we're going to take our bouquet garni out.
Awesome. Look at that. Delicious. Always have some kitchen twine around.
Right? All right. So what we're going to do, so we got Emerson's 50. Yeah, it sounds like, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Alright, so what I'm gonna have you do is taste this in the meantime. We have some tasting spoons. So
Okay. You know, that's my favorite job right now.
taste it.
Test.
Okay.
Buddy.
So this, and we're just gonna continue peering in this.
Oh my goodness, Irie.
Is this Irie?
Wow. I'm
Let's
impressed.
get this puree a little bit. Okay, that I need.
Ooh. Go.
She was stealing my flavor.
I know, that is the
So we're adding right now a little bit of the what we crush up in the mortar and pestle, the garlic, the coriander, the black pepper, the parsley, the thyme, and the rosemary.
Nice.
And we're just gonna puree it all now. So now what we're gonna do is just add our peppers, our chocho in here. All right.
Love it.
And just let that be.
Yeah. Look at that. That's incredible.
All right. We're going to add. I see you. We'll add some nutmeg, but you want the nutmeg to develop inside.
Okay. Oh, beautiful. Everybody's just I think glued to the screen, looking at this incredible soup. Can't wait to make it at home. And when you make it at home, everybody, just send us pictures, send us some comments. Go on NSUCaribbeanHealth.com.
One pot
and
soup.
share your comments. Oh, that's amazing. So you use like a quarter of that nutmeg?
Yep. Quarter.
Quarter of nutmeg.
I wanted more, so
Right.
you know, just
Love
gonna
it.
do that.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna add some of the onion that we have here.
Yes. Okay. Oh,
That's
very
fine.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, good.
Beautiful.
And then good.
Okay.
And then we're just gonna let this come to a boil. And our
That's
soup
it.
will be
Leave it
done.
alone.
Yes.
Well, listen, everybody. Look at the incredible dishes that we made today, all plant-based. And let me tell you, I was the lucky one taste testing in this kitchen today. It was incredible. So what are the small changes that we made today? We did a couple of amazing things. You know, we wanted to make sure that today we're all about brain health. And we wanted to make sure that we not only protected our brains and tried to stave off diseases like diabetes, heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure. Notice that we barely used any kind of salt in this dish at all. We didn't miss any meat. So today we were flavor forward. We didn't use high starch foods like no yam. We didn't use green banana. We didn't use any dumplings. We used some fresh vegetables and herbs. Instead of any flavoring cubes and soup mixes, we just decided to be in control of the salt and use less of that salt. And as Chef Irie mentioned, there's salt hidden in so many different foods. We have to pay attention to that. We did not need cream or coconut milk. we used a beautiful water base. And instead of any sugary flavors added to our watermelon lemonade, we used pure pureed watermelon and some fresh lemon juice and mint. So hey, let's drink to that, right? To health and wellness. Listen, everybody.
This is good.
Isn't it good, right?
This is good.
We want to wish you all good health and long life. We're going to toast to that, but I think maybe we can give them a sneak peek of what this looks like.
Yes, we can.
Right,
We
let's
can.
do it.
So we're going to just we'll take some of the broth out.
My children will be coming downstairs and taking over this pot in a minute.
Right.
Because you're smelling all these flavors from the house right now. You woke up everyone, so this is good. Oh, beautiful. I tell you. And hey, listen, your presentation is the way you eat first, right?
Exactly. Eat with our eyes.
Eat with your eyes first, right? So it has to be appetizing. And I love that we are always flavor forward.
All right.
Put a
So
little
we're going to
scallion
put a
on.
little scallion.
Scallion on top.
Get your stuff right there.
Okay.
And
Try
Put
this,
that-
everybody. I don't know if you could see my bowl here, but I'm going to try it.
I'm
Again.
just going to add the rest of this to the soup.
Oh my gosh. Chef Irie, that's it. You're going to have an extra room in here, and you're going to have to stay. Everybody.
Airbnb, Chef Airbnb.
Oh, this is amazing. Oh my God.
Yeah, so
Wow.
utilization of herbs, of spices, in all forms. Everything that you have in your pantry. And just remember, when you're doing, seasoning, to be mindful of the amount of sodium that you're adding, especially when you're adding different seasonings, in one dish. Especially, like we said earlier, our Caribbean people, that's what we are famous for. And I just want everybody out there to eat a little healthier. Yes, we are used to what we're used to, but sometimes we need to change it up a little bit. And of course, not with just the diet, but we also need to go out there and be physical. We need to be out there exercising more.
That's it.
Watching and also, exercising, eating right, and hydrating. A lot of water.
Exactly. And press your reset button, okay? Mental health. We want to make sure that mindset is in the right place. This
Right.
life is too short.
Right.
So again, everybody, we're going to toast off the end of the show with our drink.
Oh, I need more drink. What?
Wait a minute. I'm going to just
Wait a
take the
minute.
top off of this here.
Hold
I'm going
up.
to just
Wait
get
a minute.
everything. Oh, there you go.
Supersonic.
I'm going to make sure that you have enough to toast off. And then everybody join us for good health and long life. Everyone, this is your chef.
Thank you. Ooh.
Toasting to everybody to good health and long life. Join us for the next episode soon. And happy Caribbean American Heritage Month. And let's protect our brains and our bodies.